Alright, listen. Berserk is an interesting anime with many seasons. We got the only decent animated version of the first and second arc, an insult to Miura, and then an even bigger insult that has scarred me for being one of the worst adaptations I have ever seen. I mean, look at the CGI, bro. This explains itself. All of Berserk, except the 1997 one, suffers from bad adaptations, one of the biggest upsets for such an amazing manga, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we are here to talk about why everyone should read, which means not watching the anime and actually looking at the source material, at least the Golden Age arc of Berserk. This video will be mostly spoiler free, but will hint at some plot lines in the story. I am certain most of you watching this video have heard of Berserk, and I've had at least one friend or some guy on the internet tell you it's a masterpiece, in which they are totally right, by the way, but you may have also heard that the series is riddled with extremely graphic violence and filled with one too many forceful sex scenes, in which I will have to say is true. The violence is mostly manageable to view if you have the stomach for it, but the not so much. There are plenty of scenes where just the idea will make you feel disgusted, but then combined with the extremely creative and detailed art becomes appalling to the point where people cannot even handle it and have to quit reading. I do not blame you if it's too graphic. Some scenes force me to take a break, but what is beyond these scenes, just from a no context view of disgust, is one of the many well-woven devices of world and character development. Dark themes, and I mean really dark, true to a medieval era in which this story takes place, are everywhere in Berserk. When the manga cover says this is for mature audiences, it really means it. But Miura does not place these scenes just to have them, he places them for a reason, and each reason often is to make the reader support Guts on his journey to change his destiny, in which I will keep somewhat hidden for right now, and make the reader hate the world that Guts has to live in, and are also symbolic to trying to resist the demonic embrace of the apostles and the horrors that fill the lands. This makes every slash and every murder Guts commits seem justifiable, as he's ridding these demons and embodiments of evil from the world. Strong motivations for actions is a big part of the Berserk world, and each one is explained in well-paced detail that creates character action part of their unbreakable wills. It will make you question who is right and who is wrong, and will even make the reader understand the actions that create the final turning point of the Golden Age arc, even though we know who is in the wrong. Everything in the story initially seems to be taking a predictable general plotline until this final turning point of the arc. This point, which I will just refer to as the eclipse, changes everything, throws the entire story off its course, and establishes one of the best villain and protagonist setups I have ever seen. This starts Guts' real journey, and makes you hate his world so much that you have to see how he completes it. The Golden Age arc foreshadows this event the entire time, behind the eyes and the background actions of the characters. Every chapter makes you curious of what will happen in the next, makes you question how the Band of the Hawk, which is the main group of characters, will achieve their goals. You become enthralled with their successes, interested in this detailed medieval world, and almost feel like you join the group of mercenaries yourself. Their happiness is shared with you, and you feel for these characters and are worried with every page if they will survive through the battles that produce mountains of bodies. You read and enjoy, but always feel like something is wrong. Something is happening in the background, and that the outcomes are not consistent with what you see on the pages, but you likely choose to ignore it. You hear great speeches, cry in heartfelt backstories, and watch how one event changes the entire course of the series, which then eventually leads to this eclipse. And after this eclipse, you cannot help but think, if the outcome of that event was any different, would the story take an ending it seemed to be initially on track for? And taking a small step off track, reading Berserk will showcase some of the most beautiful and artistic panels you will ever see. The artwork has inspired so much modern media, with one of the best examples being pretty much the entire Dark Souls franchise, including Elden Ring. I mean, just take a look at the comparison between Melania and the Holy Iron Chain Knights, or the fact that Guts' sword is literally the great sword in Elden Ring. Part of what makes Berserk so great is the combination of the literary evil in the writing and the physical features drawn out on each panel. Miura makes art that makes you feel disgusted and petrified with his nasty creations of God Hand apostles. I mean, look at these things. They are terrifying. Also, All the action scenes feel so well keyframed that you can easily understand what's going on. Some manga suffer from the action sequences being difficult to depict and understand, but Berserk does not have this problem. Maybe that's part of the reason why it has such terrible adaptations, because the amount of labor that would be required to accurately adapt these sequences would be unreal. The artwork displays emotion so well, and it is especially good with displaying pure hatred, anger, and wrath. I mean, look at these panels, bro. Something about this art just hits so different in comparison to all the other mangas I have read. The Golden Age art covers a span of around 12 chapters, each while reading at a reasonable pace should take about 15 minutes. A total of around 3 hours of reading that accomplishes more than the entire anime series, and honestly most anime series in general. These chapters will change your view on the industry, and the best part is, the arc is only a fraction of the entire series. I have no doubt that after reading the arc, you will move on to the next, and then the next, and keep going until you wish it was more. Do not let the large amount of chapters cause you to not read. Similar to One Piece, it's not about reaching the end, but enjoying the journey that eventually takes you there. And if you haven't already figured this out by now, there is no real good anime to watch for Berserk. It's unfortunate. If you want to get into the series, just start on volume 1 of the manga. The 1997 anime and the movies are good if you just want to see something animated, but are not for truly enjoying and getting the real experience out of the series. The Berserk Golden Age is a must read, and by the end of it, you will understand why the series is called Berserk. Change your fate and resist your destiny. You will never find a manga this great again. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate it, and I plan on making more videos similar to this one. But until then, I will see you all in the next one. Peace.